The cosmic visitor is in transit. The comet C/Slice 2023A3 Shinshin map book has left the Oort Cloud and is heading towards the Sun. It will also become visible to us in October, and we will probably be able to marvel at it as a star in the night sky. This exceptional event is one that no space enthusiast should miss. But how did specialists spot the comet? What breathtaking events will occur in the coming weeks? And when should we watch the sky closely for asteroids, comets, and meteorites? While these terms are part of the basics of astronomy, the question arises, what is the difference between all these cosmic flying objects? Meteoroids, with a D, are objects in orbit around the Sun that are larger than interplanetary dust but smaller than asteroids. When meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere, they interact with air particles, producing a luminous phenomenon called a meteor or shooting star. If the meteoroid doesn't burn up completely and reaches the Earth's surface, specialists call it a meteorite with a TH. Asteroids, on the other hand, are celestial bodies that formed on an orbit similar to Earth's. Like comets, asteroids are remnants from the early days of the solar system, when original dust clumped together into objects ranging from several meters to several kilometers. Planets emerged from these bodies, but not all of them followed planetary trajectories. The remaining ones continue orbiting the Sun, forming the asteroid and comet classes. Asteroids are composed of solid materials like rock and metal, and most are found in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. However, as these celestial bodies contain little or no volatile substances, they do not form a tail like comets, which makes them virtually invisible to the naked eye. But further out in the solar system, in the Kuiper belt or the Oort cloud, there could be volatile compounds like ice and frozen gases. These give birth to comets, sometimes called snowballs in space. When a comet leaves its icy home and approaches the warmer regions near the Sun, the interaction between the solar wind and the comet forms a nebulous envelope resembling a shell called a coma. This coma is created by sublimation, the immediate transition of a solid substance into a gas, as volatile substances and trapped dust particles escape from the ice. The components of the coma are blown away by radiation pressure and the solar wind, giving the comet its characteristic tail. While a comet's tail can sometimes extend up to 100 million kilometers, most comets are invisible to the naked eye. However, Halley's Comet, known to humanity for centuries and which approaches Earth every 75.3 years on average, is an exception. The last time Halley's Comet came close to Earth was in 1986, and scientists have calculated it won't be visible again until 2061. Luckily, another comet's visit is imminent, and anyone who looks up at the sky early in the morning during the first days of October will be rewarded with a display they will likely never forget. This is the comet of a century. It was only on January 9, 2023, that we learned we were about to receive an extraordinary visit. On that date, the comet was discovered in images taken by a telescope at the Purple Mountain Observatory in China. Initially classified as a potential near-Earth asteroid, the analysis of the Asteroid Impact Warning System map book revealed that the object had formed a coma and a tail typical of a comet. The comet was then recognized as such and received the name C/2023A3 Shinshin map book. It was soon suspected that this comet would offer an intriguing display in the sky. Shortly after the comet's discovery, specialists expected it to reach a brightness of 3 magnitudes. The apparent brightness of a celestial body is measured in magnitudes, mag, and the lower the magnitude value, the brighter the object appears. While the comet's initial brightness was estimated at 3 mag, specialists now think it could even reach a value of -3 mag. As a result, the bright visitor from the Oort cloud is sometimes referred to as a potential comet of the century. However, only time will tell if it truly lives up to this title. In fact, the brightness of a celestial body cannot be predicted with absolute certainty. It depends heavily on its activity in the coming weeks. However, most researchers agree that it will be visible to the naked eye, and with a bit of luck, it could even surpass the brightness of Comet C/2020 F3 Neowise. Will the comet disintegrate before reaching the Sun? It should be noted that at this stage, some astronomers predict that the comet will probably disintegrate before reaching its closest point to the Sun. However, this serious prediction has been contested, as other astronomers have criticized it for ignoring what is called the face angle of the comet, which is a decisive factor. As a result, The majority of specialists still believe the object will survive its approach to the Sun and form a magnificent tail that could be seen from Earth. Since the object has never been so close to the Sun, it is plausible that it contains a lot of ice, which will evaporate during its journey through space, possibly giving the comet a particularly bright and large appearance. At the same time, it is precisely this large amount of ice that represents the greatest peril for the comet. According to the astronomer Yuri Sena, this could make the comet unstable and cause it to explode. We will know soon which scenario plays out, but in principle, a comet appears brightest when it is close to both Earth and the Sun. In the case of this comet from the Oort Cloud, calculations have shown it will reach its closest point to the Sun, known as perihelion, on September 27, 2024. At that time, it will be just under 60 million kilometers from our star, roughly the distance between Mercury and the Sun. However, comet hunters with telescopes will need to be patient, as the object is located below the ecliptic plane, meaning it will only be visible in the southern hemisphere at first. When should you watch the sky? The comet will not appear in the European sky until the beginning of October. If you want to see it yourself, you must set an early alarm and look towards the east early in the morning before sunrise, where the impressive tail will adorn the horizon. On October 1st, the comet is expected to rise at 6:01 a.m. However, the comet's core will be difficult to spot so close to the horizon. If the comet meets astronomical expectations, it will clearly stand out in the early morning twilight. Over the following days, the comet will rise a few minutes later each day before disappearing completely from our field of vision for a few days, around October 10th. After that, however, we will see the comet's return, not at dawn, but in the evening sky, low in the west, where its tail will again beautify the horizon. On October 10th, the comet will set at 7:13 p.m., about 40 minutes after sunset. Shortly after, it will also reach its closest point to Earth, called the peg. On October 12th, the distance between us and the comet will be a stone's throw of just 70 million kilometers. As a result, the object will also reach its greatest brightness, about -3 mag. It will be almost as bright as Venus and significantly brighter than any star. After October 12th, however, it will already be time for the comet's departure. The comet will gradually fade away, but at least observing it will be a little effortless at first, especially as the sun sets. As it sets, the comet will sink about 20 minutes later each evening according to current calculations. However, it will no longer be visible to the naked eye in November, even under the best conditions. In any case, experts recommend bringing a good pair of binoculars to observe the comet. Indeed, the frequent patches of mist near the horizon can quickly become problematic. The comet will also be easier to see in the south than in the north, both during its morning stage and when it appears in the evening sky. This is, of course, assuming it develops normally. If the comet disintegrates or parts of its core are lost, the light display at the horizon could suddenly stop. However, this eventuality is ruled out. The comet will have moved 290 million kilometers away from Earth by the end of November, heading toward the farthest reaches of the solar system. It will not return for another 26,000 years. If you want to stay updated, be sure to click the subscribe button now, join our community, and never miss another exciting video from us. See you next time.